Hello, y'all. I'm back. I'm going to try. I am going to try. I'm holding the phone. It's it's a little bit awkward because I want to finish y'all finish this reading tonight, even though it's late. It's like almost 3 o'clock here in Atlanta. But I want to get this done. It's so wow, it's so touching to me, and it's just bringing up a lot of painful memories. But I want to, if you all want me to, I'll try to, whew, I'll try to get this done tonight. So I appreciate you all being patient with me, because I'm sorry, but I can't help that. I don't know why this phone is doing this. Um, this is such a heavy reading for me, and it's emotional for me, but I will do the best that I can. Okay, because I'm almost finished. But let me see. Try to hold it, y'all. But as you can see, my cord's not that long. That's what it is. That's why I can't put it. Yes, I love the witching hour, girl. You got your candles lit? I got mine. I got mine in my little thing. I don't know if you can see. Okay. Because it's late, so I better try to, like you said, get some sleep. It's a witching hour. But I love it. I feel so alive during this time. When I was saying, yeah, there's so much, there's a deep spiritual split in Angelique, and I'm looking at her head, the crown, the third eye, and that's where I'm seeing the three male warrior spirits that are very angry and that are seeking revenge. And that's the 8 foot tall one that's really solid black that follows her around. And he is saying that she owes him justice. That is what I know. The spirits, they've never been this bad like this. I told you he was over there playing tricks on me, and he just zooped because I came later so I could make sure that the battery was like at 100%. And you see, he stands there and he was fucking with me the whole fucking time. I told y'all he was fucking with me, and then he sits there and does it. Hey, beauty. Hey, Monica. He sat there and jammed my fucking phone. Oh God. So it is saying, this is what bothered me too. I've never seen this before. When I was saying she had to give birth, oh yeah, she has to give birth to the part of her that carried her baby, that carried NIPSEY. Um, the energy still there when he was living in her body, and when he came out of her body, she has to now give birth to the dead fetal energy, the uterus, the amniotic fluid, the umbilical cord, like all of this is still in place in us when we have babies, and as when they die, when they physically die, and we have to deal with the physical part of the death and the psychological, mental, emotional, spirit part of that. We have to release that from the body. It's actually like in the astral, in the etheric. It's hanging around us with the grief and the pain. We literally have to have ceremonies. The mom has to move through a lot of spiritual ceremonies and rituals, yeah, to release that part of him that she knew and that she carried, but yet still bond with him on a spiritual level. So I'm learning a lot from this reading, and it's just such a heavy, painful reading because the entities are around her as well, putting pressure on her. They want her to get justice for them. They want her to fight, and they come to her in the night, and one of them rose out of the water from a swamp grave. That's where it came from, Louisiana, and the Native American ones, and they came from the African grave. And with the French energy, there's a protagonist and antagonist spirit that rose up and that's around the mom. And when I'm just looking at, it's talking about the death angel and the death energy. Yeah, it's floating. That whole womb and the umbilical cord is floating around her organs. And it slid down to the knees. This needs to be expelled from her when she's ready, because it's causing a lot of heaviness and pain and grief. It's saying, yeah, she has to give birth to the old womb that carried the 33 levels of Armias, and it must be released near water. Water keeps coming up in these readings. The water kept coming up with Samael, and it's coming up with the mom. A lot of water is coming up. And the spirits, another thing I saw with the mom, when she goes to sleep at night, she doesn't stay in the body. What this reminds me of, if you all have seen the movie called Clash of the Titans, I think Harry Hamlin played the starring role in Clash of the Titans. And there was a beautiful goddess and there was a beautiful god, but he had done something wrong to make one of the gods curse him. I'm not sure if it was the god of the sea. Oh, here we go with the water again. Was it Zeus? I'm not sure if it was Poseidon. You know what I'm talking about. Remember, Christina, when at night the god they had cursed and he looked like like some kind of alligator, a gorilla, something by the head with some horn, like a demon by the head, real ugly, with a long ass tail. But he used to be sexy and fine, but they fucked his ass up. I'm talking about this motherfucker was ugly as hell. Didn't nobody want to fuck him. And the goddess didn't want to be with him. But he would do spells, or he had someone doing spells where they would take her spirit up out of her body at night, take her into the underworld of the sea, and try to make her want to be with him. And she didn't want him. He was doing these rituals. Oh, I think one day she still didn't want his ass, did he? Even in her spirit self didn't want his motherfucking ass. So he raped Medusa. That's what happened to his ass. And then somebody, I think Harry Hamlin's character, ended up cutting his hand off. They were doing sorcery on the girl. She didn't want him in the daytime and didn't want his ass at night. So when I look at Nipsey's mother, Angelique, these beings, they look like shadow beings, come get her up. Her whole body, it looks just like her. The etheric double. Take her into the underworld to stand in front of, I saw Ma'at, I saw Osiris, okay, I see Anubis, I saw Hecate. Nipsey standing there already in front of them. And Ma'at is there to weigh his heart. And the other gods and goddesses are questioning him. He's standing before like a judicial committee. But Ma'at is the first one I saw. She wants to talk to Angelique. She wants to talk to his mother. He have to talk to both of them. I've never seen anything like this before. And they take Angelique to the underworld on some nights. And they question her about Nipsey. And Nipsey's looking at his mother. He's standing there. And when I saw him yesterday and the day before, he had a black and white tuxedo. That's weird to me because he had that tuxedo on when what was that event in February? And his mother was there. And his little girl was there because they took a picture together. He got that on when they bring the mama down now. The mother's physically sleeping. So she doesn't know that this is going on. She's not sensing this. Her body's, the physical body, sleeping. They got her down there asking her about him, and the mother still is not ready to completely answer, because he's still hurting about some things she said or did or didn't do. And for him to clear himself and be able to release some things, and this realm to ascend and go through that portion of the underworld, the mama need to help him through, and the mama is not answering all the questions. They keep bringing her in front of the judicial committee. They say she have to answer because he cannot heal, he cannot become whole again and pass back through until the mother consents and help to heal that man. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Hey, Parks. They keep doing it to her until she finally opens up to her baby. Because this is a karmic agreement that he don't have by himself. Now, people say, oh, you come in by yourself, you die by yourself. Not with this case here. He needs the mother brought him through the portal. The mama got to help him go out onto another one. Back on the other side, he know he need his mama, the female, to balance him. They're not hurting her. They just bring her down to answer for her action. Deed, misdeed. There's some things that got to be righted between her and her baby. So, I don't know. It's up to her how much time she's going to take. I think she's taking a big step. I was very proud. That meant a lot the way she did on BET. And say what she said is taken up for me. She know it was done wrong. She know it was set up. She knows something's wrong with it. I think she's starting, but that has none of my business. That's between her and him. She don't have to let us know. She don't have to show us her pain. This is between him and her and the gods. And the goddesses and their ancestors. They obviously both made an agreement to do this just the way they doing it. To complete the process, she got to come through with him. Okay. Then they take her back. She wake up, she don't know what happened. They've been doing this now. I'm seeing the past few weeks they've been doing this. Everybody through the portal, you protecting on what? Yeah, our mama's baby not no good, or they don't have spiritual bonds like that. They don't have to do that for their baby. The baby not conscious, don't know, don't remember. Her and see, her and him have been here before. They've done this dance before. This is a part of both of them ascension. If the mother doesn't write this, this will start to show up in her body and her mind. But they'll do this in their own time. Okay. I'm going to tell you another story. Oh, yes. And when I went through here, I looked at her. And I had always felt that when he was shot, he didn't die. He was still breathing. Someone said today from the report, I'm not sure if it's true, that he lived 35 minutes after the shooting. He didn't pass until 35 minutes after the shooting. And when I look at him, I'm confused because I don't have the report. I don't know how to see the report where the wounds were. But when I'm looking, because I know when I did the other one, he kept talking about his head was hurting and it was in the front. And yes, he was alive, Anna. Thank you. I see him breathing, but he said it was hard to breathe because they were pushing on him. And it was blood pooling on the chest wall. So it meant there was bleeding internally. He had a lot of blood inside of him. And I'm seeing wounds to the chest, but also I see wounds in the front of the body and I see wounds in the back of the body. Now, I don't, unless the shooter's moving around you, one shooter shooting you like that, or it's more than one shooter. Because I'm seeing them in the front and the chest, the abdomen, low abdomen, near, the leg, bottom, near the bone, pubic bone. Yes, I'm seeing blood there, and I'm seeing one lung go down. And when I look at the heart, I'm seeing you have 4 chambers to the heart. I'm seeing on one side with 2, there was a problem with the way the heart was functioning. I'm seeing blood pool, and then I'm hearing artery torn, but then it goes down. So what I'm wondering is, when I'm seeing this in the heart, and then I'm seeing blood pooling in the chest, was there, but I don't think that, yeah, and 2, I don't know if they did the right things to him when he was on the ground, especially, I don't know if they were supposed to push on him like that when he had wounds, gun wound to the chest. But also I'm feeling something on the side. Then getting to, I keep feeling artery, nick in it and nick in the vein, and different parts of the body, but definitely low body. So it's blood pooling there, blood pooling up here, and then the lung. Couldn't breathe in one, like it collapsed. That's why I don't know how to find out, or I don't know if all this stuff would be in a report, and it goes through these different parts. Front, then here, back, then brain stem, back of the head, neck bone, then going down to the middle, like the thoracic region of the spine, and then going to the low bone, and then a leg. I'm seeing these different things in the front and in the back and in the front. Even when you're dealing with here and then on one side, like a bruising or pressure. Here, you look through the body and it's not all scarred through the body. That's not what I'm saying. But there are areas there might have been pressure or bruising, but then here it's wounds, and then it's blood pooling, leaking under, not all of it coming out. You have it under, like in the chest. And then when you get here in the midsection, it looks like there were nicks to different sections of vein, and in the middle section, artery, where this was pooling, where all of it is not leaking out. And what's she saying? He put up a fight to live. He didn't want to go. No, he didn't want to go. Every part of him didn't want to go. And that's what he said to me when I was looking at the body. He's not saying this is where I want to be. Okay. I don't want to get into all of the body part stuff, because I don't think y'all want to hear that anyway. And it's just really painful. It's really bad to see. I think he could have been saved. Maybe the head wound was probably fatal, but if that wasn't there so bad, maybe he could have been saved if they had gotten him there in time and had the right treatment to him. Because he didn't get it, I don't want to say this, but it just feels to me like they let him die. They let him, like, just it didn't seem like it was an emergency, and we don't know all the details. Like, did you all scan the body? Did you all see what the leaking was? Did you see, was it internal? Did you see if he needed surgery? Was it possible he could have been saved if he had the surgery? See, that's what I'm kind of wondering. And as I was writing this, and I was getting the feeling like he was just allowed, he was taken somewhere, and he was allowed to die. That's, I could be wrong. I don't see any emergency or anybody going out of their way to save him. Then something else. I think I'm almost about through. I went. He let me see him. I was in a room with him, and he was laying. It looked like a tray, but it was like on a table. Kind of looked like a metal tray or something, like because when they examine the body or get ready to do an autopsy. And I was standing beside him, and I was right by his face, and I was looking down. I was very close to him, and I was looking, and he was still, his spirit was in the body, because he was talking to me, and I could hear him talking to me. Yeah, they said at the crime scene, wow. And I leaned down, he said, come here. I said, yes. He said, look down at my body. And I said, huh? You want me to look at you? He said, look all the way down. Go all the way down to my feet. And when I looked at him, he was clean. Like he looked like he was asleep. His body was clean. Must have been when I seen him. Oh, God, I feel like this heaviness, like something my heart. He was washed off. He wasn't dirty. He looked like he was asleep. And then I looked at his chest, and a wound. I saw a wound in his chest, but it wasn't leaking. I could see like blood underneath. I know that might sound weird to y'all, but that's when I looked at him. That's how they looked to me. His body, it was like a piece on him, and I know that sounds crazy because that's not something that you want to happen to you. He didn't want it to happen, but I could still. He was still in the body, near the body. He was moving in and out of the body, and I heard him, and he was talking, and he in the room. It was like a peacefulness that I cannot describe. And I said, you want me to look? And he said, yeah. So his head's right here. I'm right here. And then I started to scan. And I looked all the way down. And I said, what the fuck? And when I got down to his feet, because there was nobody else in the room, this white man appeared and had this outfit. It kind of looked almost like a Pope outfit because it was black and it was long, like a robe, and it had a long jacket. On the outside it was black, but it had red trim, and he had a black and red hat, and then white underneath. So he was wearing black, red, and white. And it looked like a older white man, had on black shoes, and he was looking at NIPSEY's body, and then he was picking parts he wanted. He wanted a lot of blood, and he wanted some of the organs. And then I heard Satan say, I want him. And he was moving through the man that was dressed like a priest, but had on black and red and white. He didn't have on the traditional all white. So I'm looking. You see, I ain't saying that. He said, yes. He told me to watch and look. So I'm looking, like one of the high level, like a dragon. And Satan looked real black, like a shadow. Like one, the shadow people I'm seeing real jet black, and he was in his other form, kind of animalistic halfway, like a beast, but then shaped like a man. And he got into the man, and he said, "Yes, I'm gonna take his soul, and I'm gonna devour him." Then, while that going on, I look over to the right. It's a white casket, solid white. It looked like it raised up out the ground. And it had a beveled top on the casket. When the casket, as it's raising up real slow, like it's got remote control or some shit in it, the top of the casket, because I'm looking at this, I'm not believing this shit. The top of the casket, like it got a remote control top on it, starts sliding back slow. As it's sliding back, getting almost to the top with the head, it like I see a man in the casket. But the thing is, it's filled with water. Hit the water again. So I couldn't see the body, but it looked like the body of a big man, and like a tall man. And I'm wondering underneath, is it got some kind of swamp in it too? Because I see some flowers or some green shit underneath there, like it came up out the swamp. So I'm looking, and as I'm looking, and the water, the top remote control slide back like it disappears. The water starts to recede. So as the water is receding, I'm seeing the face shape and the body. It's not a human. It looks like a statue. It's a man. He got on, kind of almost look like a dress or skirt or something, but it's got all this gold. It's red. It's got gold all in it. Royal red with gold, and like got some kind of belt, black and gold. Then he got this big, real big gold sword in his hand. Then I looked down at the sword. I said, wow, that's a pretty sword. And it's huge. It had around the handle, pure gold handle, it had a seal etched into the handle. It was Archangel Michael. So he rose up. So as Satan talking with this white man, talking about what he finna take him and take his soul, Michael looks directly at Satan. He said, no, it ain't you and him, it's you for me and me for you. I said, oh Lord, he with this shit. Here we go. See, yeah, for y'all don't know, you need to look up Archangel Michael. He likes to fight Satan and whoop Satan ass. See, I looked because he was there protecting Nipsey's body. Archangel Michael. When I looked at Ethiopian calendar, the Ethiopian calendar is 13 months. And he said the 12th day of each month is to commemorate Archangel Saint Michael. The annual celebration is Hidar 12, or November 21st, and Sin 12, June 19th. Now you notice something here? When I dealt with Samael, it was Gabriel coming to protect him, and it was also the June 19th date, but I think the other date celebration annual was December. And the celebration here for those two angels, but the favorite one and most beloved is Archangel Saint Michael, Michael. He's with Nipsey, fighting Satan. That's why I know something very demonic and satanic about this, because Michael comes up. He said Michael is beloved to be head of heavenly host who stands beside the throne of God. He's a guardian of souls, of saints, and martyrs, and he intercedes on behalf of humans a commander, and the Ark of the Covenant is taken from the Holy of Holies. That's present like a duplicate, not the real one, but it is present when they celebrate Archangel Michael. When you're dealing with the Ethiopian celebration of Michael, the power of it. And that's why I looked there, because his bloodline. So Nipsey saw. He saw them. He saw Satan. He heard them, even though the body was laying there supposedly dead. He could still hear and present. He didn't just up and disappear and leave the body. He was still present in the body. That's how he told me what to do. Then there's one more. There's one more story I'm going to tell you, and then I better go. After I saw that, and I said, okay, well, I know Michael is protecting this body, and nothing's going to happen to the body. So I guess that's all he wanted me to see. I looked over in the corner. There was a Mexican man. It was an older Mexican man. It kind of confused me because he looked like he was in between worlds. But he knew Nipsey. And he was friends with Nipsey. And I said, oh my God, there's got to be something to this. Because this is the second time I've seen a Latin person that come in with Nipsey. I looked, he let me see him. I said, hello? He had a hat on and like some cowboy boots, like some jeans and a belt. And he had a button-down shirt on. And he had a 50s Cadillac. And the Cadillac was blue and white. So he cripping in the Cadillac. Cadillac blue. He started out. And it was a pretty Cadillac. It looked like one of the old kind, like from the 50s. And I say, you know Nipsey? He said, yes, he's my friend. I said, that's your friend? You know? He said, yes, I come to check on him. And I said, okay, so you know what happened to him? He said, see, yes, I know what happened to him. I have something for him. I looked, he said, look. I looked up on the wall behind him. There was a low rider. It was beautiful. And it was it was an old Mexican map. It was an old clock. So I don't know what it means. It was an old clock above the Mexican map. It was an old Mexican map, which would tell me that's the original maps. You're dealing with California, you're dealing with Texas. And all those regions there in Vegas. Okay. He shows me that. So I'm looking at the old Mexican map. Then he shows me old Mexican money. Paper money. And he shows me old Mexican coins. This currency. Then he pulls the map down. When he pulls the map down, it's money about this damn thick. Like a whole bunch of money put in this big square. But it was American. He said, this is for Nipsey. I have this for Nipsey. This money is for Nipsey. I say, you have this money for him? He said, yes. I was going to give it to him, but I've been holding the money. And I said, oh, Lord. How is he going to get the money? He said, I don't know. I hold it for you. I said, what about the mother? You give to the mother? He said, no. No, I hold it for you. And I said, oh, wow, damn, Nipsey had it like that. Well, all these people love him. I didn't ask the details of how they knew each other, how long they knew each other. But he said, I keep coming here. I watch his body to make sure nobody did anything to him and that he's all right. And it was just, he was in the corner checking on him. He didn't let nobody see him but me. He let me see him, and he started to talk to him. I said, you know him for a while? He said, yes. Yes. And I knew, I could tell it was a family. It wasn't just him. It was other people around him in his family that knew him, and they loved him. And he loved him. And he said, I'm going to hold it. I hold it for him. Hey, my friend. I said, okay. I said, how you, where you come from? He say, I used to travel up Route 66. I say, Route 66? Like that song, Get Your Kick on Route 66. He said, see. Then I seen it was the 50s. I didn't know nothing about it, so I had to go look up Route 66. When I looked at it, this, oh I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, but this stuff, I'm, they tell me I love it. I love to listen because I learned, okay, Route 66, which reminds me of what we're talking about, Nipsey's mother, is called the Mother Road. And that's who we're talking about because Nipsey had to be developed and created and moved through the road of his mom. So 66, they said that was the road for escape. And a lot of Latin people traveled that road. It's long. I think it starts in Chicago or Missouri. And it comes all the way down. They said it was the Dust Bowl of 1930s. It was a travel road for refugees in the Depression. When people, want to go to a better life, they would travel it. And in 1928, runners traversed the length of Route 66 as part of the Coast to Coast Marathon. So there's another marathon right there on Route 66. And it was 3,400 miles from Los Angeles to New York. A portion of Route 66 from Rolla to Springfield, Missouri overlaps with part of the Trail of Tears, also the Cherokee. When they were ran out of Georgia and different places were forced in 1838 to relocation from homelands in South Appalachians, and the government decommissioned it in 1985. So Route 66 starts in Chicago, northwest of the United States, ends on the shores of the Pacific Ocean in Santa Monica, California, and in the suburbs of Los Angeles. And he said he traveled that road. His relatives, his ancestors traveled there. And they came into California. It's John Steinbeck's novel called Grapes of Wrath during World War II. Wrote about Route 66, and it was essential for the military highway for transporting troops to California. Bonnie and Clyde, Jack the Ripper, and Wild Bill Hickok. You have famous murderers and robbers that also traveled portions of Route 66, and there were parts of Route 66 where they killed black people and didn't want them going there or shopping there. And in 1906, the Springfield, Missouri, birthplace of Route 66, even though it starts in Chicago, on Easter weekend, a grisly lynching by white mobs dragged Horace Duncan and Fred Koch to the town square, hanged them, burned their bodies, burned them up, while thousands of people watched this. And then took their body parts and spread it. The body parts, gave them out as souvenirs. And people took them. Then the 1921 Tulsa race riots, where whites killed 300, burned 35. Black Greenwood districts, 10,000 blacks were homeless. Route 66 had businesses where you knew they were racist because they dealt with the 3Ks, Ku Klux Klan, Cozy, Cottage, Camp. Like you would know that they were racist because of the names, the 3Ks that they were putting in there from Route 66. And then I think I had to look, because I couldn't find a lot about, I think Latinos had a difficult time too traveling Route 66. And even when black people would travel Route 66, they had to take their own toilets with them, like portable toilets, water and food, because they couldn't take a bath, they couldn't swim uh, in the water, uh, traveling to hotels, motels, anything on Route 66. So he told me that, and then I said, looked up 50s. Okay, in the 1950s, that's when Route 66 kind of started to die out. It was really no business or nothing going. Okay, so my great grandfather Josiah, because he's Latin, came to the country through Route 66. Okay, so he's from Mexico. Okay, so that is true, because that's what the Mexican man, and your grandfather's Mexican. Yeah, that's what he told me, and he was like a really, really kind man, very calm, very sweet, very easygoing, and we talked. And he was very hurt that Nipsey's body was killed, and Nipsey could see him and he could hear him, but his body couldn't move. And he knew Nipsey could see him because he could see Nipsey and he could hear Nipsey, so they both could see each other. Yeah. You see, I was saying about this reading how it was like so heavy. Hey Ruby, hey my sister Ruby. Like it was so heavy. It was like really emotional and so deep, because like the people that were popping in just like him. So I don't know, what can you do a read on Lauren London? I hope you will. Well, no, I don't really want to get into that, because if I see something like that, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna publicly say that. I kind of don't want to go there. I go where he tells me to go. I only look at what he wants me to look at, and I saw a couple people ask about BT, but he wanted to talk about that, and then the other entities, they jumped in and started to talk about that. So if he tells me he wants me to do that and he wants me to share that publicly, I will do it. But so far, the way he's slowly, like with me making the rounds, and okay, you're a fan of hers. Okay, so you're not telling me to find bad stuff. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you're not asking me to say anything bad, I will look. But that still, again, I can't promise. Because if he doesn't say that he wants me to do that, then it's going to be no. I have to respect those spirits. I don't do stuff because people, oh, look at this one, and oh, look at that one, and oh, see what this one say. That I don't. That's disrespectful to the spirit. If that spirit tells me I don't want you to talk about that publicly, I don't want you to say this, I don't want you to say that, I want you to talk. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference in me. Like people just for ratings or to make money, they'll do a whole bunch of readings and they'll do about anybody that they ask them about. I don't work that way because I don't want to upset the spirit, and I don't want to make them not want to talk to me anymore because I disrespect them. Nipsey made FDT song. Mexican love that song. Oh, I don't know what FDT. I can respect. Oh, really? So he had Mexicans to like him, and then that other boy that was singing with him, I saw that boy do a video like a week ago. It was all Mexican in the video with a YG, and it was all of them. They respected him. Then I said, okay, so I'm not crazy. That Mexican boy was with him when I told you he bought all them niggas in here and bought some Latinos in here. Latinos, and said, and they weren't prejudiced. He said she can send a message over there. And then another one popped up. We've been talking the past couple of days. And I said, you know what, there's something to this shit, because the YG, yeah, they must know Nipsey too, called the Mexican man came in there and said that I watch over him. I love him. That's my friend. I have something for him. I hold him money. And he pulled it down and let me see. I said, God damn, what? He said, this is for Nipsey. I have this for. I said, I'm talking about, the shit was deep down in there. And I said, damn, what? How is his family going to get it or no? I don't know, because I didn't ask too many questions. That's what he volunteered. He trusts me to tell me that. He did. He helped a lot of migrants. The guy looked it like one when he said that's how they were going back and forth. And he mentioned Texas. He's mentioned California. He mentions Texas. And then he showed me that, oh, it was, I'm talking about the Cadillac was in mint condition. But it was one of those old big kind, and it was blue. And he said, I'm going to make sure that my friend is okay, and I'm going to stay. And he would go get something to eat, bring food in there. I know. And thank you, Ruby. Yeah, I don't want to disrespect them. I would not do that. Well, y'all, it's late, and I have to finish this. What I'm going to do is I got to get some rest because I'm exhausted. And I'm going to come back in a couple of days, hopefully, or by the end of the week. Hey, William. And do the rest of it. I gotta do the read and see, because I know what y'all know about the El Paso, Texas, right next to LA. He talked about Texas, and he would look over there at Nipsey's body. I've never seen someone that had so many people from different races love them and had other spirits to come check on them and bring him that bag, even in the ethers, man, even in the underwear. Nigga got the bag. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen. He got the bag for Nipsey, and I'm just like, he said, he's here. Look, and he had it here, and I said, that's for Nipsey. Yes. They see this is Nipsey. I said, wow, how beautiful. And I looked. He heard it. He knew. I was very respectful. Okay, girl. The bed don't stop. Yeah, I wanted to share that story with y'all. Every time I come, I always have a story, and I want you all to share with y'all because it's so fascinating to me, and what I see and how I see it. Well, I already talked about that. I discussed that. That's the beginning of the reading. It's late here. I'm definitely not gonna get in there. It's at 3 o'clock. So, thank y'all for being patient for me and the phone going out, and I have to hold the phone. I'm sorry, y'all. I couldn't help it. I don't know. These entities been off the chain tonight. I mean, showing they motherfucking ass up over here. So, I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to do... I got to look and see what else they say. Hopefully, it's not as draining as this. But I can't guarantee. You know, with them, I respect them. So, even if it's draining to me, I go where they go. I do what they tell me to do. So, I'm honored by you all. Thank you, and thank you. Y'all have made this. Y'all know how important this is, how much it means to me that y'all are here, and you all support me. You don't think I'm crazy. um, you like my readings, and you listen to the stories and my wild personality and all that stuff. So if you'd like to make any donations, you know I love that. I always appreciate that to help me keep doing this. And if you want readings from me, you know, you can always contact me at alexysktylorvp@gmail.com. And I'll be back soon since you like the readings, and I'll keep doing them for you. Do you do reaching? Yeah. That's where I get them from. They come to me for the I love it, William, that they trust me enough to come to me for readings. Yeah, I read my fans. I read people that watch the videos. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm glad you all like the ones on Nipsey because I know there are other people to do, and people ask me to do other people, but I'm sorry, you guys. If I want to do other readings, but when I do these, as you can see, because I'm feeling really heavy, I've been feeling heavy through the whole reading. If he comes and yes, we have to pray for all of them, and he tells me that he wants me to look at something or read something I feel obligated to do it because I want to help him. And I want to help Nipsey heal and ascend and whatever he wants to do, however he wants to do it. So I can't say no, you guys. I'm sorry. So if you don't like the readings, you don't want to listen to them, fine. You don't have to listen to them. You know, you can go to other people's channels that are doing readings on other things, but I have to. I feel obligated to help him cross over. I'm honored that these spirits trust me and they come to me. And you know what I think? When we do the next reading, I'm going to tell you, I briefly started trying to look at the little girl uh, where her mother let the boyfriend kill her. The pretty little girl. I think she was 4. Wow, I got to tell you about that. I went into that thing for about 10 minutes and it was so rough on me I had to back up out of it. And then that's when Nipsey hit me again. That was after I did the other reading and people were asking me about, that was the same night of the BET. And that was, oh boy. That was so messed up. What happened to that little girl. And I literally, it looked like that man was having a relationship with that little girl and the mother let it go on. I will have to explain it later because it was so deep what I saw and the karma with that relationship, with the relationship with the mother to the little girl and the little girl to the man. Because it literally, he was acting like that little girl was his woman or something, like they go together or something. Somos novios. It was pretty sick. But at the same time, on a higher level, it was karmic. Yep, Malia. I looked at Malia. That thing was so goddamn demonic. I had to pull up out that motherfucker right there. And then that's when Nipsey hit me again. Sunday. I had to walk out the room because my head started hurting and it was like I got in her body and I started feeling like I had to vomit. So I'm wondering with Malia, did she get sick and throw up? Because I started throwing up. I didn't throw up literally physically, but I had to catch myself because I felt so sick. And I had a nasty feeling in my throat that when I thought of her and I started writing it down, my head started hurting. I felt dizzy like I was about to fall. And then I started feeling like I had to vomit. And I felt like he was messing with that little girl. And he acted like that was his little woman or something. And I couldn't, I said, I can't do this right now because both of them hitting me at the same time. So I did this one. And I will see what they do, you know, in the next few days to determine where this goes because it's up to him. But I'm already telling you now, as long as he wants me to do them, I'm going to do them. And that's just the way that it is. Okay? So I'm going to talk to you soon because I'm going to look at the case with Tanisha and the custody and Samael. He was touching that baby. I believe it, girl. From what the vibe I got, he was going with that little girl. But anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I'm so well, y'all. I got to go get me some water behind this. Because, child, the devil done wore my goddamn ass out, honey. The devil truly came to Georgia in this bitch. You hear me? Because I'm wore the fuck out. He done showed his ass. Because I can't talk to y'all tonight unless I'm on this damn chart. He done blowed my damn shit. So I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon.